Well, welcome back to the One Tribe podcast, the number one podcast in Dubai. We're back with myself, Jason Grima, Ty Kubiak, and the Muay Thai Muppets boys, Jason Woodham and Ellis Barboza. Yeah,
hey boys.
What is it? Did I fuck it up again?
Going straight into the mix.
How are you, boys?
All right,
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Good, yeah.
What's going on? What's good?
It's good. Everything's good. Very busy at the moment.
Jace, just sorry, mate. Pick that one up.
Very older, yeah?
Yeah, hold it.
Yeah, everything's good. Busy with the gyms, Gym Nation, running classes there. Got a fair few fighters now as well. And obviously our mate Mr. Ellis has been with us a year. Yeah, just normal stuff, mate. Busy and doing
Right into it. So, if you're watching today and or you're listening and you're not you don't know who these fellas are, they're Jason Woodham. Me and him go way back. Another Dubai expat from the UK, and he is the owner of the Muay Thai Muppets, a Muay Thai school, Muay Thai school that operates out of here in Dubai. And you started a lot like myself, mate, like a small show on your own.
Yeah. We was I first came over here in 2013, August. So it's going to be 9 years this year. My missus already had a job lined up, and then I just chanced it. Pretty good at what I do. Yeah. Should be able to do it anywhere. But luckily enough, I knew Tam anyway. Yeah. Because he's from the same town as me.
Run us back on your career, mate. So obviously, before moving to Dubai, you're a professional fighter.
Yeah.
In Thailand. So.
Yeah. For 3 years I lived out there, only fighting. And then before that, obviously, I started when I was 15. Yeah. But yeah, we had 3 years in Thailand, 55 fights in 3 years. And then moved back to England with the missus. She didn't like it. She found a job here. And then the rest is
history, as they say.
Yeah.
And we started Muay Thai Muppets, and you're here today, mate, 9 years later.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool story. I didn't know it was 9 years. That's gone fast,
It's gone quick, innit? Yeah.
Very fast.
Do you remember when it was at HM?
Yeah, bro. HM, yeah.
It was the first when I first came. It was at Glory.
Yeah.
And then that closed. We went to HM, and then they closed down. I did 2 years by myself freelancing with Tam at TK. Let me use his gym. Yeah. And then Gym Nation opened up, and I got my own trade license, and I partnered up with him.
Shout outs to our old friend Tam Khan. You've started a lot of careers here in Dubai, man. So
really
and you've obviously advanced the fighting sports network out here in Dubai a lot too. So big shout out to the man. Now let's move it to the young fella next to you.
Yeah, he's more exciting.
Mr. Barboza, babyface Barboza.
There you go, mate. Give it a mic there.
How are you, brother? Welcome to the One Tribe podcast.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. Just speaking to the mic, bro. Mate, so 21. We know what I've been watching, that you've got some big things coming up in this month, next month as well. Yeah. So tell us about it, bro. Tell us the first big date. You're a fighter, professional fighter, and now you're going for a European Championship?
Yes.
Right?
So next week, 23rd of April, I'm fighting in Ireland for the WBC European bantamweight title. So
50, how many kilos is that?
53.5 kilos.
53 kilos.
Is this your first championship fight?
No, so I've won an English title before when I was 18.
Yep.
But this is my first prestigious title.
Yep.
Like WBC. The best really. Company to win, sort of thing.
That's that green belt, baby, yeah?
Green belt, everyone knows.
Green strap.
Yeah, so that's next week, and then next month as well, we have another opportunity that's come up in Australia.
Ooh, awesome.
So,
Brisbane, you were saying, Brizzy?
It is.
Hometown, Jace?
Yeah, cool.
Oh yeah, no, I don't live there either. But whereabouts in Brisbane?
I don't actually know.
Yeah, awesome.
Can't give all the details. I'm not too sure yet.
For sure.
Because
Yeah,
I've not
bro.
released it, but it's a
Just so we can tell you where to go drink afterwards.
Yeah, we'll tell you for the after party.
I'm not holding beating.
JD.
So what you guys are going to see later, we went upstairs into our little boxing area up here in the gym, and we let Ellis literally put his hands on us.
Not in that sort of way.
Yeah. No, we got Jace to ask us questions about either Thailand or the sport of Muay Thai, and we all three of us got them wrong.
Yeah.
And Mr. Barboza kindly lent a left uppercut to our sternums, and he done a good job. 53 kilos, dropped pretty much all three of us.
To be fair, he used 60 kilos.
All right, let's say 60 kilos.
I wouldn't have allowed it if I knew that.
But he also threw it at only, 40%?
Yeah, easily
so
40%.
He was, mate.
There in Brisbane, that little dot, you know.
Oh, it's
Oh,
Gold
yeah,
Coast.
Ormu. Yeah. So
Ormo.
between the
What'd you say?
Emu. It's between Brisbane and the Gold Coast, so you'll go straight to surface afterwards. I
Ormo.
imagine.
Yeah.
You're probably better off booking to stay in
So have a
surface.
good night after.
You'll definitely have a good night.
You're going to stay in the gym. They have everything in the gym.
Oh, it's full
Oh,
kit.
okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Bedding, everything.
Oh, that's even better. So you can
Nice little area there,
focus.
just off the highway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway,
Great
we don't
spot.
want to think about that one yet.
For sure. Eyes on the prize.
You got the first one, yeah. So tell us a little bit about. Tell us as his coach and obviously as the fighter. So you've got this next one, the green strap coming up, WBC. Obviously, they're a prestigious title to hold and to obviously have your name on and a part of. So how long have you been fighting for, bro?
Yeah, so this year it's coming up to 10 years.
10 years?
Since I started when I was 12.
Yep. You still look 12. Like you've got a baby face.
I think he will when he's about 42. He'll still look 12.
Scratch coming here and there now.
Yeah.
Bro, why? When you were growing up, how did you get into the fight scene? How did you move into this as a, at the time I'd imagine it was possibly a passion, or how did you navigate that at 12 years of age?
See, it was more like I didn't really look to fight when I first started. It was more just started for a bit of fun. My mum pushed me to the gym and just go for self-defense, something to do in the evenings. But then I took to it, I enjoyed it. So then I had an interclub, which is sparring with another gym. Okay. And then I had a fight, and then just every time I was fighting, I just started to enjoy it, and I just stuck with it.
Yeah.
And then when I was 15, I had my first pro fight, and then from there, after that, I didn't look back really. That's been my life since.
Yeah.
Just been fighting, worked in the gym, training all the time.
Yeah.
And obviously, I came out here, met Jay. He took me under his wing.
Match made in hell.
Yeah, and then that's it. Yeah, it's just my life now.
Did you bring him out here, or did you?
No, we spoke before. We spoke before on Instagram. Because he's got a really good page, Muay Thai Magic, which he started in the lockdowns. 240,000 followers. He's got his own brand.
Your page has got amazing.
Bro, congrats. That's huge.
Right, that's huge.
He's got his own brand.
Fuck are you fucking sharing this for? You need to be sharing our podcast, not him.
That's what I got him on here for. I'm pouring him out, and I'll be billing you later on for the exposure. So he's got his own stuff. I've just ordered all our training gear off of him as well. And
Beautiful.
He's got punch bags. He's just sponsored about 3 or 4 world champions so far.
Nice.
So hang on, this is
Got Liam sponsored actually.
We can put the Muay Thai Magic YouTube channel.
this is your
his company. Yeah.
Wow.
Good on you, mate.
That's nice. That's good.
Huge.
Fuck, that's fucking huge.
Because I mean,
bro.
you get a lot of athletes go down that road and they kind of don't think about anything else. So you maximise some time by the sounds of it.
Yeah, for me, Muay Thai doesn't pay what something like boxing or the UFC would pay.
Yeah.
So I just thought I need to have an income where I can still fight and enjoy fighting, love fighting, but have something else that comes in.
Yes.
And that I'm passionate about, and I like fight, creating products, fight wear and stuff, and I like seeing other people, other fighters wear it as well.
Of course.
And give back to fighters, because not all
Very cool.
Muay Thai fighters have something that they get given like the UFC or the boxing. So
Yes.
it's good to have a brand that can do that.
So I know we're jumping back and forth, but this has intrigued me. So you're 21, you start this page in lockdown.
Yes.
Okay, and it's basically about your journey, or is it just in general Muay Thai or fight sports?
It's just Muay Thai in general.
Okay.
So I'll post about myself, like training tips,
Yep.
some highlights of my fights, but then also other fighters as well,
Right.
like building their exposure.
Yep.
Putting out content for other people to learn. So training tips from Muay Thai.
Yep.
That people can take away from just watching. And obviously we have the fight wear as well. So that's what we give into the
Bro, that's so fucking awesome to see a young bloke like you obviously pivot during the pandemic and stuff like that, and keep your attention and keep your love for the sport growing through social media. And this is what the people your age are doing. They're so savvy with social media now. While we're on it, did it just start without zero investment, or is it something it was just like photos, videos, etc., and getting traction that way?
Yeah, so it's mad how it happened. I used to try and build something online with various different subjects, like an online business. And then the idea just came to me, why don't I just start a Muay Thai page, because it's something I'm passionate about. So the name came to me really sporadically. I just thought Muay Thai Magic, that sounds good. So then I made a page, and then I just started sharing other people's content, their videos, and trying to build a following. And the following built really quickly, just because of the way we was posting and was interacting with the community and stuff. And then other ideas flowed after that. Like originally it wasn't all in place, but then obviously over time I've added to it, thought of different things, how I can make it better, how we can monetize it and stuff like that.
Did it surprise you how quickly your following, the interest grew with where Muay Thai stands in combat sports? Or did you think this might take a bit of time?
No, but yeah, I was surprised how quickly the page grew, to be fair. Like it did catch momentum really quickly. But I thought that was natural because of how good Muay Thai is. The videos, when you watch Muay Thai videos, they're really cool. And I prefer Muay Thai to all combat sports. I think it's the most exciting to watch. So I wasn't that surprised with people enjoying the content.
So it's not only that too that you've pivoted as a business, but it seems like you're trying to give something back to the sport as well.
For sure, yeah.
Which is really good.
And Jace, I guess for you, like, you know, a bit of an older head like us, having a young fella like this sort of be so, you know, tech smart and savvy and build his, you know, it's like back in the day, I guess when you were fighting, you relied on sponsors and going out and saying, I'm a fighter, this, that, can you sponsor me for the next fights or whatever, like what we're talking about downstairs. Now he can find his own sponsorship or have those avenues through social media, right?
Yeah, no, it's very good because I know how hard it is just to set up a Shopify website, a proper business email. Like everything is super difficult. There's so many different avenues you go down. He's done all of that by himself, just learning. Even I asked him how to do stuff, so it's really interesting. And he can just get his own sponsors. He's got big social media reach, stuff like that. It just makes life easier. And because of the way he does like his little business, and so it's not even a little business anymore, I can't even say that, like a proper business, and how disciplined he is, he's easy to train as well. Yeah. Like I've not had to tell him once in the last 3 or 4 months, don't go out drinking, don't eat that, don't do this. He's doing it all himself, cooking all his own meals and stuff, which is it's hard to find because sometimes you get fighters who are really, really good, but you just all the time have to pull them back. So it's
that's what I was going to ask you. I was like, wouldn't that be uncommon to find in the fight industry somebody who maybe had their head screwed on?
Most people who like fighting are a bit wild.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean. So I was like that.
Yeah.
I always had to be reined in because you ain't normal if you like having a fight at the end of the day. But if you've got both discipline and the passion for it, and you're a bit wild as well. Perfect combination, and his own business to top it all off, which is only getting bigger and bigger.
Well, and he's only 21.
And you're 21, and it's something to fall back after. As we all know, you can fight. You know, not everyone's a John Wayne Parr who's fighting at bloody 42, 43, whatever. You know, but
what's the expected like age range typically in the Muay Thai sport?
Depends on your style. If you've got like a walk forward, aggressive, exciting style, you're not going to last as long as somebody who's got like a defensive style, doesn't take much punishment.
That's punishment, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit like you two guys.
Yeah.
I try working with you two.
That's why I took that thing.
My whole life's a punish working with you. But that's awesome, bro, because, you know, as I was about to say, like, you finish your fight career whenever that finishes up, and then you've got a full-fledged business behind you, which is currently growing on the back of also you growing in the sport. That's amazing, man. So well done. Go on. So you have now got the WBC title in Ireland, right? You're fighting an Irish young lad, same age.
Little bit older, a few years older than me.
Yeah, and you said that when you were coming up, you fought this fella.
Yes.
Yep.
So when I was, I think 16, I fought him.
And he was what, 21?
A few years older, yeah. He was about 20, I think. 4 or 5 years older, I think.
That's a big jump when you're 16, 17, someone's even 18, 19, they've got a little man strength.
Yeah.
But now the tables have turned. Like he's come up, he's got the man strength.
Yep.
It's not going to be the same fight at all. And he only lost on points narrowly last time. Yeah. So this time we're expecting the big
and you know, is there a big difference in terms of fight record, like fights?
It's a very, very good match actually. We both, like, he's beaten a lot of people in Ireland and I've beaten all of the UK scene. So on paper it's a perfect match. Like we're the best in our countries and in Europe.
Both been to Thailand and fought as well.
Yeah.
Fought Thais.
Yeah.
What was about
Similar,
to,
isn't it?
Very similar.
I was going to ask this. So, like, the credibility of that, like, we know Muay Thai now is a worldwide sport. Now, how beneficial, how like in someone's favour is it to see on their resume that they have gone and spent 6 months in Thailand fighting in the stadiums there? Is it like, is it a must
it's
now?
going to help you a lot.
Yep.
It's just the time. It's just the amount of hours you're going to spend honing your sport. So if you're living here, well, not for him because he's a full-time fighter here and we train all the time, but even still, actually, you're only going to get 2-3 hours a day in training, realistically, if you've got a full-time job. So if you go and move to Thailand, you wake up at 6, you train for 3-4 hours, you do it again in the afternoon. You're going to rack up those more hours of practice.
That's your full-time job.
You're just going to be able to practice more. And the more hours you get in doing something, the better you're going to get. It's that 10,000 hour rule. You're going to get to the 10,000 hours quicker than someone else. So for myself, who I lived in Thailand for 3 years, you do 6 hours a day, 6 days a week over 3 years. It's a lot of time. So that's, for me, that's how you benefit a lot. Because sometimes the level of opponents are not as good as maybe you'd get in Europe because they put you in against some Thais that are a little bit easier. But you can fight more.
Right.
Just keep fighting. It's like if you're going to play football, you only play every
week in, week out.
3 months, you're going to not be as good as somebody who plays every week. So for me, it's if you want to get to that higher level, I think you have to have done that at some point.
Right. So you did fight in Thailand for like just sporadically, or did you spend some time there?
Again, it's the same as when he came here. Like we met because obviously we spoke on the Muay Thai Magic page, and then he was like, "Oh, do you want to do a podcast and all this?" And he's like, "I'm thinking about going to Dubai one day." And then he just came on holiday, and then everyone was shouting in England, and he got offered a fight. And I said, "Yeah, I could just stay." He was like, "Yeah, all right." And he stayed on Dan Costello's sofa for about 6 months and fought, and then fought again, and that was it. He stayed with us, and we gelled really well because we got the same style. Sometimes you could train somebody, but you don't really gel. Or you don't get on, or like. But our pads sort of just doing pads. It's just happening. So it's just one of those things. Maybe it was meant to be. But yeah. Anyway, so when he went to Thailand, he was only supposed to go there just to train. He got invited by actually a guy that came to a Liam Harrison seminar. He got speaking to him. What did he do? Just invite you to go with him?
Yeah, that was it. He wanted to go for a training break. So he was either going to come here and train with me, or he said, let's go train in Thailand and train alongside me. So we went to Thailand for 2 weeks, just to sort of push him along training. And then when I was training there, the gym offered me a fight. So this was on the Wednesday, and the fight was on the Saturday. So I just finished training, and they said, "Do you want to fight?" I was like, "Okay." I was just like, "May as well." He goes on his phone, texts someone, goes on the phone like this. "Okay, I've got you a match." Takes a photo of me. About an hour later, I was on a poster. I was like, "All right, sweet." So Saturday, I'm fighting. So then I get to the weigh-in, the check weigh. Bearing in mind, I'd already took a fight a little bit heavier than normal, and I was a little bit overweight. So I think I had 0.5 to lose. So I went running outside in a sweatsuit for about 30 minutes. I come back, obviously I was shattered. And they said, "Okay, don't worry now, you're not fighting him, you're fighting someone else at 60 kilos, for 2 kilo heavier." After I'd cut all the weight. So I was like, "Okay, fuck it, no problem." Then they said, "Okay, it's going to be in 4-ounce gloves, MMA gloves."
4 ounce?
That's it. Fighting MMA gloves, yeah, three rounds.
Three rounds.
And they don't score it like proper stadium Thai boxing where you land a body kick and you evade and it has to look good. Like, this is the fight. Like, whoever's fighting is gonna win.
Yeah. So I was like, "All right, cool, no problem." So then I fought the next day. it was cool, like fighting in Thailand.
Style, isn't it?
It just felt chilled. I was sat at the side of the ring before watching the fights. And it's just different vibe, like it's chilled. And then I had an absolute war with this Thai. He cut me, got I think 11 stitches. I had a proper good fight with him, 3 rounds. Not really lost on points, but I give it a good fight. Like.
The fight clip sort of went a bit viral, didn't it? Because the kid, you could see he was visibly bigger, and after the first round, you could sort of see the Thai was like, they didn't throw him in with some muppet, they wanted to throw him in with someone good. And the Thai was really technical and was like picking him off, and then he got dropped with a body shot in the second round, just through fatigue getting booted, and he got back, I was like, sat in the stool, and his coach just said to him, "Right, just go forward now and just have it with this geezer because you're going to lose anyway." And the third round was just insane.
Tucking the chin and just throwing them.
Punch in the face. I'll send you the clip later on of it.
It's on there actually.
Yeah, it's funny. So that went viral, and then I think your name actually got bit bigger after that fight. So many people saw it. It was shared everywhere.
Yeah.
People were tagging like one championship in it and all sorts. So they fight in 4-ounce gloves. in
Yeah,
Muay Thai.
yeah. So, like, what I mean, obviously, following fight sports like I do, it's obviously seeing this now in one championships is like you got the Muay Thai. It's Thai rules, right? But in 4-ounce.
Yeah, in 4-ounce gloves in a cage.
In a cage, right? Exactly. So, I mean, apart from, I guess, more impact with the 4-ounce glove, is there any other difference in terms? And you're in a circle cage. You're not in the square. You're not using the ropes much anymore.
They score it a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like traditional Muay Thai, they like the kick and stuff.
yeah,
but
yeah.
On one, they want damage. That's why they give you the 4-ounce.
Yeah.
They don't want someone who's going to just kick and move.
Yeah,
They want
yeah.
someone
So how
to fight strong.
how much did you have to, if anything, change your style in that fight? Did you have to sort of just adjust slightly?
Mate,
To be fair, it suits his style better.
Yeah.
It suits me. That's why I was a bit excited.
Okay.
For 2 weeks.
Because you felt comfortable in that
Yeah,
in that
like
environment.
boxing, so
Yeah.
I thought 4-ounce gloves perfect. Like
Yep.
that's going to be good for me.
Yep.
But also, obviously, one championship in shows like this, they're doing it now. So I wanted the experience as well, just to see what it's like.
Yeah.
The main difference with the 4-ounce gloves is you can't cover up because they're so small. You
Small,
can't sort of
yeah.
take punches
Yeah.
with the gloves. So you've got to either get out of the way
Yeah.
or parry. You can maybe cover for a little bit. When someone elbows, it just goes through.
So your defensive games changes.
You've got to have
You
a
have to
little
fight
bit,
different.
Yeah.
little bit more head movement and use your push kicks and stuff to stop people. Because if somebody gets near you and puts a combination on you, 2 or 3 of those punches out of 5 are going to land.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
gloves are so small. It's like MMA.
Absolutely,
you hardly see
exactly,
anyone
yeah.
cover up.
And you feel
Yeah.
it more, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That cause more damage.
You can't like in MMA you'd be able to like sort of grab somebody and take them down. You just got to stand there and bang. So it's,
Another question I was going to ask. So when you're in Thailand, do they? I mean, with the what do they call the white folk? Guaylo, is it? Is that a fucking name I just fucking made up? But
No one's going to cross-check you. So.
I'm going to get called a racist now.
He's talking about on old kickboxer.
Yeah, kickboxer.
What do they call him? Naksu Kao. Yeah. I don't think anyone calls you that out there. No,
No, do
they're
they-
not chanting it in the stadium.
Do they say, like? Is it a like you had it? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you went to fight one person, and then next minute there's another bloke who's
That happens all the time.
yeah. So it's you're getting thrown to the lines basically.
It's just such a big pool of fighters. Like if somebody pulls out, there's another one straight away.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, obviously, boxing, I mean, you're striking just with the hands, obviously, but weight can obviously carry into the legs as well. It can make a massive difference with someone about, even if they're 2 kilos heavier. That's
That's what it was like. Like when you fight heavier, like I've fought heavier before. That's the only time I've lost when I fought heavier. And it's not so much like their power. It's sometimes your power when you're light. It doesn't affect them.
It doesn't affect
they
them.
Keep coming,
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
coming,
yeah.
keep coming.
Can't keep them off you.
right.
And then that's when the fight's harder.
Yeah.
But as you said, with the kicks, you feel the power more. Like I think boxing, you can fight divisions heavier. Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. You don't see it much in MMA either, do you? Because when you're getting wrestled to the floor and people are booting you, that extra 2 kilos or whatever,
Yeah.
is so much.
Yeah. Well, in boxing, it can actually work against you. It can slow you down.
Yeah, it
Can say exactly,
it
yeah.
can do if you're
Yeah.
not skillful, yeah. Because I've done it before. Really, I should have fought at 65, 67 all the time. But sometimes you live in Thailand, you need the money. I was fighting at 72 kilos, 70 kilos. You just, like you say, you just hit the geezers and you're like,
They're coming forward.
definitely
Yeah.
would have knocked someone out my own weight, I swear. And then you're like,
This is like me fighting in my dreams.
It's like, oh God, this is going to be a long night, and then you just can't keep them away from you. It's the same. Happened in a fight before he had in Abu Dhabi. In Fusion, he fought one of the best guys here, Mehdi Al Jamari, beating everyone. Just that 2 kilos more at 55, and Mehdi's a big 57. Wasn't getting outclassed or anything. It just couldn't keep him off
Yeah.
him. Just
Yeah.
kept coming.
Just
So I
walking
said,
through
look,
it.
we need to get down to 53 as much as we can. He's only 21. He's going in 2 or 3 years' time. Probably won't be able to make that weight. Then he'll be all right.
Mature
we
muscle,
need to
yeah.
keep down at that 53. We took a couple of risks now.
Yeah.
It's fine. Get the ring experience and have those hard fights. Because now the theory is when he fights in Ireland now, after fighting at 55 kilos and 60 kilos high level, it should be a piece of piss, really.
Yeah.
That's the theory, but obviously it's fighting, isn't it?
So what's for you as his coach? He's 21. You've been fighting for 10 years now, right? Pretty much. Let's say 5 of them at a fucking awesome level. You like your style, like you say, is very fan friendly, I guess, right?
Yeah.
As his coach, do you I mean, to sustain him in the sport? Do you try to? It's hard. I know as a coach, you don't want to change the style too much, but also for longevity for this fella. Like,
Yeah, no, we've already sort of done that already. We're just adding another aspect to it because my style was like that as well. But if you can do that and be evasive, you're just a nightmare.
Yeah.
We always talk about we want to be the Muay Thai Canelo.
Yeah.
That geezer's in your face, fan-friendly style, but doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
So why can't you do both?
Yeah.
I don't like when people say, yeah, either you go forward or you're a defensive fighter. No, you can do both. You can kick and strike and lean back and move out of the way and sometimes take a round off if you're getting a bit bad or you're tired. You can do both of it.
Now, let me ask you, because obviously coming from boxing background, I look at Muay Thai, and even now in 2022, like, is there more of an adaptation to the Western boxing style in the Muay Thai art? Like, are they adapting more of a centre punch rather than a wide punch to set up the kicks and stuff like that? So,
Yeah, you used to say that the other day, go on.
Yeah, I think now, like, especially the Thais, they're adapting to the Westerners, because before Westerners were banging Thais out, like knocking them spark out, because they just like to kick. But now I think the Thais as well.
They're all hiring boxing trainers now in the
Boxing
gym.
trainers, they have S&C coaches, so they're just knocking people out as well.
Yeah,
like Nongo is the champion of one championship.
He punches like a truck.
yeah.
He's like a Canelo of
Yeah.
Muay Thai, doesn't get hit and he's smashing.
Like,
people.
if you're putting combinations together with your hands and then chopping the legs as well, like, I mean, because like I guess when you were fighting, it was very that bang, you know, sort of.
It's just difficult because now people are so skillful.
Yeah.
You ain't getting near somebody's put a combination. If somebody's really good with their legs and they're push kicking you
Push
away,
kick.
moving out the side, booting you when you come in, if you keep on pressing to try and get that close, before you know it, the round's finished, you've lost a round. So you have to be careful as well. But if you do get in close, then people will tie you up in the clinch if they're clever.
Yep.
But if you get two people that like to do combination fighting, then you know that's the fight you want to watch.
So with the focus going more now into a bit more specialty with boxing, with the hands, striking, is that taking any focus off elbows,
No,
that tactics?
You still have to be careful. 'Cause he's good with the elbows.
But then again, that's a like in a clinch.
It's even with the punches. Like, when people like fight him, they get close, and before you know it, he's up elbow, side elbow. So you can't really do like long combinations. Somebody can just cover up and just go bink.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you cut.
Yeah.
That's the difference, really. You have to be smarter with your boxing rather than just flurry.
Yeah. Like more
when they say
overpowering. Got to be
Guy
smarter
who fought
rather
in
than.
Abu Dhabi, Mehdi, super strong combination fighter. Fights a lot of kickboxing, and we managed to get a Muay Thai fight. And they actually told him not to throw any more than 3 punches because Ellis was good with his elbows. Because they know the style.
Yeah,
You're not going to be
yeah.
able to cover up and then just throw 5 or 6 punches. You're going to get elbowed. So their game plan was only 3 punches and move. So you have to be a bit smarter.
Yeah. And did it work for him?
Yeah,
It did work. Yeah.
Good fighter. Yeah,
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Fight
It
that.
actually surprised me in the ring. Like, so we speak after now, but in the ring, I remember thinking like, you're not flurrying like how you used to.
Yeah.
Like,
So you picked up on that anyway.
picked up, I was like, did you see that elbow? I landed a couple, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like as clean as I expected. And then a few weeks after, we trained together, we sparred and stuff, and he told me actually this was the plan.
Yeah.
He said I caught him once in the second round, I think. He was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. And he just went back to two combinations, punched twice.
Yeah.
So he was smart.
So that's a lot